good morning. It's just past 8 this Thursday morning and we're back again with all the news on the Breakfast News. I am Nancy Kohli. A very important day there. Just a short while back, Prime Minister Modi paid his homage, his respect to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat, and then the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee at Sadaiv Atal Samadhi, and then towards the end this morning, in fact, he also visited the National War Memorial to pay his homage to those who sacrificed their lives, saluting their bravery, courage and valor. And a very important evening awaits all of us here. In fact, the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Modi takes place. That begins at around 7 this evening. But before that, special coverage, of course, we will be getting you. But first, a look at the headlines. Ahead of the swearing-in, Prime Minister Modi pays homage to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat, also pays obeisance to Atal Bihari Vajpayee at his memorial and salute the country's martyrs at the National War Memorial. Prime Minister Modi to be sworn in for the second time as the Prime Minister today. President Ramnath Kovind will administer the oath of office to the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. The leaders of BIMSTEC to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Modi and the Council of Ministers this evening. Bangladesh President Mohammad Abdul Hamid and Mauritius Prime Minister Praveen Kumar Jagannath to reach Delhi for the historic event. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley opts out of the cabinet ahead of the swearing-in, citing health problems. Prime Minister Modi meets Arun Jaitley at his residence. Time magazine says Prime Minister Modi has united India like no Prime Minister in decades. Also says in reaching the very top, he personifies the aspirational working classes and can self-identify with the country's poorest citizens. And the leadership crisis continues in the Congress. The party president Rahul Gandhi insists on his resignation. Hectic parleys underway to convince him to not do so. The Congress-JDS coalition government in Karnataka is in a damage control mode. The Rashtriya Janata Dal also chairs a meeting. And the greatest carnival of cricket, the ICC World Cup, to begin in London. Host England will take on South Africa in the first of the 48 round-robin matches of the ICC Cricket World Cup at 3 this afternoon at the iconic Kennington Oval. Hazard scores twice as Chelsea thrash Arsenal to win Europa League. Victory gave Blues boss Maurizio Sarri the first trophy of his managerial career. And earlier this morning, a short while back, Prime Minister Modi paid tribute to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. These are the visuals from there. Prime Minister Modi began his morning by, in fact, paying homage, his respects to father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. A very important morning that began for the entire country, because this evening as well, Prime Minister Modi will be sworn in as the Prime Minister of the country for the second time.
उपकार करे तो ये मन अभिमान ना आने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेरे कहीज पीड़ पराई जान रे वैष्णव जन तो तेरे कहीज
Prime Minister Modi and the Bharati Janata Party National President Amit Shah also paid tribute at the Sadaiv Atal Samadhi, the memorial of late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Other party leaders including JP Nadda, Piyush Goyal, Giriraj Singh also paid floral tributes. Prime Minister Modi paid his homage after visiting Rajghat. He visited the Sadaiv Atal Samadhi, the monument dedicated to Atalji that was inaugurated last December, a few months after his demise on the 16th of August. Prime Minister Modi also met the relatives, the family members of the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee after paying his homage to him. And then Prime Minister Modi visited these visuals from the Sadaiv Atal Samadhi, where we are seeing ministers and leaders there, the newly elected MPs that who had gathered there at the Sadaiv Atal Samadhi, paying their homage, paying their respects, paying their obeisance to the former Prime Minister. And Prime Minister Modi then also visited the National War Memorial near India Gate. The monument, spread over 40 acres, is dedicated to soldiers killed in service of the country over the decades. Prime Minister Modi there and the Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and the 3 service chiefs at the National War Memorial this morning, paying their respects to those who laid down their lives in the service of the country, remembering their sacrifice, their courage, their bravery, their valor. And moving on now, well, a big moment for the country is set to unfold this evening. Rashtrapati Bhavan is all set for the swearing-in ceremony of Team Modi 2.0. Nearly 8,000 guests will look on as President Ramnath Kovind will administer the oath of office in secrecy to Prime Minister Modi and his Council of Ministers. While the guests include the leaders of the Bay of Bengal Initiative, a regional grouping that bridges both SAARC and ASEAN. Here's a report.
Narendra Damodar Das Modi.
Images of the 26th of May 2014 are all set to be replayed on Thursday. Narendra Modi will again be administered the oath of office of the Prime Minister of India at 7 p.m. after getting an even more resounding mandate in 2019 from the people of the country than the first time around. President Ramnath Kovind will swear the Prime Minister in along with his Council of Ministers. The Rashtrapati Bhavan is all decked up for the grand ceremony, which will take place in the regal forecourt of the sprawling complex. World leaders, national and international dignitaries are among the invitees for the oath-taking. In 2014, the PM had invited SAARC leaders to be part of the history-making event, and this time BIMSTEC leaders will be part of the event. All BIMSTEC leaders have confirmed their attendance or are sending their emissaries. Those participating include Bangladesh President Abdul Hamid, Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena, Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, Myanmarese President U Win Myint, Bhutanese Prime Minister Lote Tshering, Thailand's Special Envoy Grisada Bunrak, Mauritian Prime Minister Pravind Jagannath, and current Shanghai Cooperation Organization President and Kyrgyzstan President Suranbay Jeenbekov have confirmed their attendance. The ceremony will have a total of 8,000 invitees in attendance. Apart from foreign guests, dignitaries participating from home include governors, chief ministers and leaders of all major opposition political parties. Former presidents and prime ministers have also been invited. All members of parliament have been sent invitations. Even ambassadors and high commissioners of all foreign countries have been invited. Several intellectuals and celebrities will also be attending. In a first and symbolic gesture of PM's solidarity, kin of BJP workers killed in incidents of political violence in West Bengal have also been invited to the ceremony. This will be the fourth occasion when the oath-taking ceremony will be conducted at the Rashtrapati Bhavan's forecourt instead of the Darbar Hall. It was former Prime Minister Chandrasekhar who took the ceremony outdoors in the 1990s. Then it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 1998, and Prime Minister Modi followed in his footsteps in 2014. Several other ministers will also be sworn in along with the Prime Minister, but their identities will be revealed only when their names are called out. It's going to be a special evening in many respects for the invitees. Apart from snacks, a lavish dinner spread will also be laid out. The high tea will have samosa, sandwiches and Raj Bhog. The swearing-in ceremony will be followed by dinner. Dal Raisina will be the star of the dinner menu. The speciality of the lentil soup is its cooking time of 8 hours. Clearly a memorable evening for all those in attendance lies in store. And while the world will be watching the reascendance of the globe's most popular elected leader, it's those who have given him his formidable mandate who will look on with countless hopes and dreams reflected in their eyes.
कभी हम दो हो गए और आज दोबारा आ गए.
With Sudhakar Das and Sudhir Yadav, DD News.
So special evening awaits all of us, and all the invited leaders have begun arriving to attend the swearing-in ceremony that takes place this evening. Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale received the Bhutanese Prime Minister Lotte Tshering. And earlier, Prime Minister of Mauritius Pravind Kumar Jagannath also arrived in the national capital to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Modi, who will be sworn in as the Prime Minister of the country for the second time this evening. And Bangladesh President Muhammad Abdul Hamid also arrived to attend the swearing-in ceremony in the national capital this evening. And at this point in time, let's also bring in our guest, Mr. Rajagopalan, senior journalist who continues to be with us here on Doordarshan News. Thanks very much, Mr. Rajagopalan, for being here on Doordarshan News. So a special evening, like I've been mentioning, awaits all of us here, across the country, and it's going to be a great moment. Prime Minister Modi will be sworn in as the Prime Minister of the country for the second time, and BIMSTEC leaders have been invited, and apart from that, the President of Kyrgyzstan and the Prime Minister of Mauritius as well. So growing priorities to the East being attached, and also a commitment once again coming in by India to the Central Asian grouping as well, Mr. Rajagopalan.
Yeah, Prime Minister's diplomatic policy as well as the external initiatives are paying dividends by this invitation to all the BIMSTEC countries. The reason being tourism, cooking gas. In certain parts of these countries there are abundance gas production. So we have to take them all. Commercial initiatives plus political understanding plus diplomatic. These all indication of a soft approach towards the BIMSTEC countries. India wants to ensure that we are going to be superpower in another 10 to 15 years. Ensure, do not ignore India. That is the message Mr. Prime Minister is sending to the superpowers, be it USA, be it Russia. My understanding is that diplomacy is playing a major role today in swearing-in ceremony of Mr. Narendra Modi.
Right.
Whenever Mr. Narendra Modi ensures, if you remember 2014, Mr. Narendra Modi ensured that SAARC nations, he has enlarged it now, SAARC plus, and he has also given a message to the Pakistan, do not take India for granted.
Right.
You did Pulwama, we did Balkot. That is the Balkot instance kept Mr. Imran Khan away from today's swearing-in ceremony. It is a strong message being sent from India to Pakistan and also to the world leaders.
Okay. All right, and like we've been discussing, how this is going to be a very important, evening for all of us. But important day again continues to be tomorrow, Mr. Rajagopalan, because that's when Prime Minister Modi's bilateral meetings will also continue, and that's a statement of intent and also on opening new avenues as far as India's multilateral engagements in the days to come is concerned.
Of course, yes, it is going to be one-to-one meeting. They will discuss major aspects. Joint secretary to joint secretary level talks will have already been held. Now it is at the official diplomatic level. Now that will be risen to the political level. Once the Indian delegation meets the foreign delegation with at the Prime Minister's level, it is going to be very important. Foreign Secretary Mr. Vijay Gokhale will be leading the type of discussions with all smaller countries and ensure that they get some political approach. A consensus will be built, and that will be the main reason why Mr. Narendra Modi took it on himself at the top level, at the top political level. At the Prime Minister's level, Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants to understand what the Sri Lanka is facing, immense problem, internal Sri Lankan problems. Similarly Maldives, similarly Bangladesh. And if you understand, Prime Minister's first foreign tour next month, in the month of June, he is going to be
attending the SCO summit.
These meetings,
yes,
and high level meetings, and Maldives visit is significant. Prime Minister chose the smaller countries, ensuring that as a big brother, we have to show that we are big brothers to those smaller nations, and we are protecting them from any onslaught by the superpowers.
Correct.
That is also one major political message,
yes,
diplomatic
one
message,
big takeaway
which Narendra Modi is giving to the world leaders.
And then how a deepening of collaboration, of course, we will see by India. What would you say, Mr. Rajagopalan, as far as reaping benefits vis-a-vis trade and connectivity with BIMSTEC countries are concerned? How is that going to be fructified in the days to come?
Major BIMSTEC countries, major initiative, of course. Tourism will be the major issue because most of the countries are oceanographic countries and many tourists. For example, if you are a new married couple, Mauritius gives you lot of importance. Similarly, other smaller countries.
Yes.
Plus the bilateral thing. More than that, the ocean countries, these specific countries have a common one thing in nature about security. India provides them the security blanket from any foreign onslaught.
Sure.
So apart from that, bilateral things also, business, commercial interest, banking interest. If you have seen, smaller countries have more inputs and investments from Indian businessmen. The smaller countries look for India for major investments.
Okay. And inviting the Kyrgyz president as well, because he is currently the chair of the SCO, once again re-establishes India's commitment to the Central Asian grouping. So that is also very important apart from the BIMSTEC countries.
Of course, the Shanghai dialogue is important. Look East policy, which India has maintained from the day one about the diplomacy, whether it is whichever government it is, UPA or NDA, foreign policy is same. And that is the reason the Shanghai talks, India gives importance, Prime Minister Narendra Modi gives importance, because with this he can talk to the world powers at a one-to-one level.
Okay. And let's also talk in a bit about this morning, Mr. Rajagopalan, very important visits, like we have been showing our viewers as well, to Rajghat and to the Sadaiv Atal Samadhi, and then the National War Memorial. Very strong message, very important message going out to the countrymen, to you and me, and to the leaders who are present here to attend the swearing-in ceremony, that the idols of the country have not been forgotten, and they will never be forgotten.
Today, Prime Minister's visit to Mahatma Gandhi statue, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Samadhis and War Memorial. These three give a clear-cut indication that Prime Minister gives importance nation first. The leader, Mr. Narendra Modi, ensured that paying tributes to Mahatma Gandhi ji and his Samadhi was that inculcate a feeling among the youngsters that he respects, that Narendra Modi respects the elders. That is the reason, madam, if you remember, he went to his mother
Yes.
From there
Then
he went to
Varanasi.
Varanasi.
Yes.
From there he went to Mr. Atal Bihari this L.K. Advani's house, Dr. Murali Manoj Josh's house. On the top of it, he did not miss an opportunity to see and get blessings from Bharat Ratna Pranab Mukherjee. He went to Pranab Mukherjee's house. Similarly, he has also been in touch with many world leaders. Many world leaders have been calling him, congratulating him. He ensures that he is in touch with many of them, those who have greeted him,
And
on
takes
their
everyone along. Yes,
everyone
absolutely.
along.
Absolutely.
And
Sure.
Prime Minister's major slogan for the last 5 days, with the thumping, resounding victory of Bharatiya Janata Party, 303 seats,
Yes.
Prime Minister often repeated, "Do se dobara, do se dobara," from
Yes.
2 to second time.
Yes.
That he is being sworn in. That is the importance.
Sure. All right, Mr. Rajagopalan, on that note, we would like to thank you for joining us and sharing your perspective with us this morning. Thanks very much for the moment, though. And let's now move on. Time magazine has come out with an article that says that Prime Minister Modi has united the country like no other Prime Minister. In the new issue of Time, an article titled "Modi has united India like no Prime Minister in decades," the founder and the chief executive of the London-based media organisation India Inc. Group, Manoj Ladwa, has written an article in which the Prime Minister has been highly praised. An excerpt reads with the header, "Modi united India like no Prime Minister in decades." In fact, the piece there goes on to say, I quote, "Prime Minister Modi was born into one of India's most disadvantaged social groups, and in reaching the very top, he personifies the aspirational working classes and can self-identify with his country's poorest citizens in a way that the Nehru-Gandhi political dynasty who have led India for most of the 72 years since independence simply cannot. No Prime Minister has united the Indian electorate as much in close to 5 decades, unquote. And with that, let's also now take a look at Prime Minister Modi's entire journey. Here's a special report.
A repository of energy, a synonym of commitment and determination. The man who is the bearer of hopes and aspirations of over 1 billion Indians. Narendra Modi took oath as PM for the first time on 26th May 2014. He became the first Prime Minister to be born after independence. Soon after coming to power, Narendra Modi addressed those issues of public welfare which have seldom been touched upon by other political leaders. When the nation celebrated the 145th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi on the 2nd of October 2014, PM Modi launched Swachh Bharat Mission and started a cleanliness movement across the country. When he laid the foundation stone of the Dalit Messiah, Bharat Ratna, B.R. Ambedkar's Panch Tirth, Narendra Modi exemplified his strong commitment towards the emancipation of the suppressed class. Narendra Modi was born to Hiraba and Damodar Das Modi on the 17th of September 1950 in Gujarat's Vadnagar. Poverty was a big challenge for him since childhood. He sold tea to earn his daily bread. In 1972, he joined RSS and dedicated himself to society and the country. During his years in the RSS, he launched a youth movement against corruption and strongly opposed the emergency, which was declared in 1975. Already doing well in politics, his first break was when he became the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He set new benchmarks for all-round development of the state. When a massive earthquake rocked Gujarat, he won the hearts for his service to the people. Gujarat, which was struggling to recover from the aftermath of the earthquake, was put on the path of development by Narendra Modi following his various schemes. His 4 glorious terms as Chief Minister of Gujarat led him to greater acceptance across the country. As a result, a strong Modi wave completely swept away the opposition in 2014. Modi might have touched new heights being Chief Minister, but governance of a country was still new to him. It didn't affect him, and his strong, progressive and decisive leadership saved the nation from policy paralysis. Narendra Modi, who calls Parliament a temple of democracy, and the Constitution a national book, passed schemes and policies which put the country on the path of all-round development. Following his motto of uplifting even the last person in the line, he launched 3 social security schemes. He ensured pension for elderly and insurance for the poor. Under Shramev Jayate, he uplifted many labourers by introducing changes in labour laws in small and medium enterprises, ensuring dignity of labour. While the flagship Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana made several differences, his ease of doing business regime was facilitated by Make in India, Startup India and other schemes which fill the investors and business people with a sense of entrepreneurship. PM Modi is also known as an innovator who launched schemes like Skill India and Khelo India. In order to digitize the nation, Digital India was launched to improve the living standards of people via technology. He is a creative Prime Minister who established the brand Modi, and Modi Care, also known as Ayushman Bharat, was launched. The scheme makes quality healthcare accessible, available and affordable to the poor. Without any international exposure, who only had state administrative experience of Gujarat, Modi is one who successfully isolated Pakistan on the global front. He participated in various international conventions, including United Nations, BRICS, SAARC and G20. With his visits to Japan, Mongolia, China, South Korea, France, Germany, UAE, Palestine, the United States of America, Russia and Israel, a new era of global relationship began. His proposal to introduce World Yoga Day gained huge acceptance and generated tremendous response by the United Nations. Globally, he has many laurels and accolades in his name. He is the recipient of Saudi Arabia's highest civilian honor, Order of King Abdul Aziz, Seoul Peace Prize, Palestine's highest honor, Grand Collar of the State, UN Champions of the Earth, UAE's highest civilian honor, Zayed Medal, and Russia's highest civilian honor, Order of St. Andrew the Apostle. PM Modi has always worked untiringly for the nation and has even sacrificed his personal time and space for the nation. He celebrated various festivals with Jawans on the border and even worked round the clock during any disaster. Not just that, his counter-terrorism policies and rapid action have helped curb terrorism. Several accusations and personal attacks were made on him, including the Rafale row, but none of them could stand against his high integrity. PM Modi's seamless and natural connection with the youth becomes evident on several platforms and occasions. As a tech-savvy leader, he is most popular and active on every social media platform. Apart from politics, Narendra Modi has always been interested in writing and has authored many books, including poems. Health-conscious Modi starts his day with yoga, which synchronizes his body and mind and helps him recover from his stressful routine. Full of courage, conviction and confidence, he is the man on whom the people of the country have put faith in terms of a huge mandate, believing that he is the one who will bring resurgence of a new India, restore its glory, make it a global leader and prove this term to be a path-breaking phase for the nation on all horizons.
Moving on now, and on the eve of the swearing-in ceremony, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley sent a letter to the Prime Minister asking to be left out of the new Council of Ministers on health grounds. He had been soldiering on in the midst of treatment but has informed the Prime Minister of his desire to be allowed a reasonable time for himself, his treatment and his health. Prime Minister Modi then met Arun Jaitley at his residence.
Just a day before the swearing-in ceremony of the new government, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley Wednesday wrote to Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying he does not want to be a minister in the new government, citing health reasons. He had posted on Twitter the letter he wrote to the Prime Minister requesting recusal from being a part of the new government on health grounds. I am writing to you to formally request you that I should be allowed a reasonable time for myself, my treatment and my health, and therefore not be a part of any responsibility for the present in the new government. Jaitley was admitted to AIIMS last week to undergo tests and treatment and was discharged on Thursday, the day results of the Lok Sabha elections were announced. He unfortunately could not attend celebrations at BJP headquarters that evening after the party's historic win. In the letter, Jaitley said during the last 18 months he has had some serious health challenges. My doctors have enabled me to emerge out of most of them. After the campaign had concluded and you were leaving for Kedarnath, I had orally informed you that even though I was able to discharge the responsibilities assigned to me during the campaign, I would in future for some time like to keep away from any responsibility. This will enable me to concentrate on my treatment and health. Jaitley was the leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha from 2009 to 2014 and leader of the House from 2014 onwards. while as finance minister he steered through parliament major economic legislation such as GST, which had languished for nearly 2 decades. He has also played a key role in getting through several other laws, such as the bill to ban Muslim instant divorce practice known as triple talaq, and also articulately defended the Rafale fighter jet deal. He entered parliament at the age of 47 when he was nominated to Rajya Sabha from Gujarat. In 2014, he was made the finance minister and also handled briefly the additional charge of defense and information and broadcasting ministries. With bureau inputs, DD India.
And in some other news now, the leadership crisis in the Congress has still not abated, and several rounds of meetings of the leaders have yielded no result, with the party president Rahul Gandhi adamant over quitting. A demonstration was held on the streets of the national capital with the "Rahul, please don't go" refrain. Meanwhile, the situation in the Karnataka coalition government also remains tenuous.
The leadership crisis in the country's oldest political party, the Indian National Congress, continues for the 4th day after the party president Rahul Gandhi tendered his resignation following the party's debacle in the Lok Sabha elections. Rahul Gandhi's decision to step down as Congress president has not been accepted as yet, and he is not taking back his decision to quit. On Wednesday too, a round of meetings continued in Delhi, with several party leaders trying to convince Rahul Gandhi to stay. Showing their support for Rahul Gandhi's leadership, several Congress workers from the Delhi Pradesh Congress carried party flags trying to convince him to revoke his decision to quit the leadership.
हमारा काम रिक्वेस्ट करना है कि वो आगे कंटिन्यू करके रहें एज अ प्रेसिडेंट और संगठन को मजबूत करें, हमें दिशा निर्देश दें और बाकी जो राहुल गांधी जी फैसला करेंगे हम उस फैसले के साथ में रहेंगे.
The Rajasthan Pradesh Congress Committee went a step further, passing a resolution on Wednesday for the party not to accept the resignation of Rahul Gandhi as Congress National President.
राजस्थान प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी की कार्यकारिणी की यह बैठक प्रदेश के समस्त कांग्रेस जनों की भावनाओं के अनुरूप सर्वसम्मति से केंद्रीय कार्यकारिणी में पारित प्रस्ताव का अनुमोदन करती है और आपके प्रति पूर्ण विश्वास व्यक्त करते हुए आपसे अनुरोध करती है कि आप हमें अपना प्रभावी नेतृत्व प्रदान करते रहें.
The Congress JDS coalition government in Karnataka is in damage control mode. Congress General Secretary K.C. Venugopal held several meetings with party leaders and legislators in Bengaluru, which was attended by Chief Minister and JDS leader H.D. Kumaraswamy.
About the government, and government is safe. We have no problem as far as the government is concerned. There may be statements by different people like BJP leaders. I don't think there is anything to worry about.
Coalition government in Karnataka is under trouble. They are only after trying to save their own seat. Their own MLAs are speaking against the government. Siddaramaiah and Kumaraswamy, they are conducting meetings after meeting. And in spite of all this, the crisis has not been solved. And the government is totally, it might collapse at any moment.
The Congress is not the only party going through the pains of political isolation. MLAs and Legislative Council members of the RJD met at Rabri Devi's residence in Patna to review the party's rout in Bihar in the Lok Sabha elections. The meeting was chaired by Tejasvi Yadav.
हम लोग जो हैं हौसला नहीं हारे हैं. हम लोग मजबूती के साथ महागठबंधन के लोग एकजुट है. मजबूती के साथ आगे का जो चुनाव होगा, जो चुनौती होगी, उसका हम लोग जो है एकजुट रह करके मुकाबला करने का काम करेंगे.
Politics is a game of survival, and no party can survive political isolation. All opposition parties will need to work hard to regain the trust of the people. That's the simple message of their collective defeat. DD News.
And the Vice Congress President Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy will be sworn in as the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh today. Governor E.S.L. Narasimhan will administer the oath of office and secrecy to him at the Indira Gandhi Municipal Stadium at Vijayawada. That takes place around 12 this noon. Reddy will be the second Chief Minister of bifurcated Andhra Pradesh. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and Jan Sena Party Chief Pawan Kalyan are among a host of dignitaries likely to attend the swearing-in ceremony. The Jagan Mohan Reddy led YSR Congress swept the recently concluded Andhra Pradesh Assembly elections and bagged 151 seats in this 175-member assembly. And in some other news now, tributes were paid to 22 persons who lost their lives in the massive fire that broke out in a multi-story building in Surat on Friday. The incident has renewed questions about building safety standards. On the 24th of May, a blaze had ripped through the coaching center located in Takshila Arcade in Surat Sarthana area, killing more than 20 students and injuring many others. Several students who were seen jumping off the building to escape the inferno. Some people were unable to escape and died on the spot. The fire was reportedly triggered by short circuit. And in Uttarakhand, forest fires have been increasing due to unusually high temperatures. The forest fires also cause considerable loss of biodiversity. The rural folk and the forest personnel have been doing their best to extinguish the fires. The divisional forest officer said that 165 fire watchers have been deployed and 250 staff have been at work. The police and fire department are also on a backup. He also mentioned that 25 fires have been controlled so far at its source, saving 250 hectares of land. And moving on now to some other news, the Delhi University has decided to put the mark sheets and other academic documents of students seeking admission to its colleges to forensic test this year. The varsity took the decision in the run-up to the start of the admission process beginning today. The varsity will also provide colleges a list of impaneled agencies from where they can have the documents checked forensically. The varsity's admission committee, however, is yet to finalize the agency to hold the entrance test for admission to its various courses, attributing it to the delay in the start of the admission process. Delhi University is also contemplating the issue of smart identity cards to its students from this year.